Yu-Gi-Oh's a one-turn game and needs to go back in time. Bitch, where? One thing about Yu-Gi that has not changed is that games can be decided and can be over in one motherfucking turn. I know some of you motherfuckers feel this way too, but I don't know when the fuck y'all started playing. I started playing in 2002. I remember summon a beat stick, usually 1800. Your opponent summons something else, or uses a card, Fissure, Dark Hole, Regeki to get over your monster, then summon a monster to attack. If you do not have a monster to kill their monster, you're going to either set a Hane Hane, Man-Eater Bug, or whatever shit that you have. You ain't want to take that direct attack to your life points, boy. You just didn't do that. The turns were a lot shorter back then because we didn't have a whole lot of shit to do in a given turn. I'm not speaking for everybody in my era. Goddamn, that sounds old as fuck. But I like being able to do more shit in a fucking turn. You're actually able to interact with your opponent's shit more. Yeah, your opponent can do a whole lot of shit in a given turn, but so can you. Some of y'all motherfuckers are trying to remember old school Yu-Gis the way that you want it to be, rather than how it actually happened. We had shit like Harpy's Feather Duster, Heavy Storm, Regeki, Dark Hole, Painful Choice, Premature Burial, Monster Born. Most of those motherfuckers are banned. Y'all motherfuckers complain about creativity, innovation, diversity. Now, old school Yu-Gis, if you was able to get the motherfuckers, everybody played them shits. This is before the common reprints of certain cards. But if you had them shits, you played them in every deck. Did not matter what the fuck you was doing. Didn't matter if those cards had no synergy or what the fuck you was doing. You played them shits because they were that fucking powerful. Back then, we didn't have a whole lot of archetypes. And the archetypes that we did have weren't that good. The moment that archetypes got good is when they started being pretty particular with certain cards on the ban list. When you get rid of a whole lot of generic cards, then people are more or less forced to play things within an archetype. And the problem with archetypes are the cards in an archetype aren't good individually. That's the reason why they're grouped together. You need more of the cards within an archetype for you to actually do shit. But back then we had a whole bunch of generic ass cards. What the fuck somebody think they was doing back then trying to play a deck with archetypes? I damn sure tried the shit. Failed. Before we even get to pendulum specific archetypes like Dynamis, Nemorphages, hell, even Metaphoses or Ignites, there is an investment for pendulum summoning. 2 cards, right? So that alone puts you at a deficit. As powerful as pendulum summoning is, it does not come without a cost. And because of pendulum summoning requiring so many cards in your hand to do anything involving the shit, it is very easy for the opponent to stop what the fuck you're doing. A lot of plays in a pendulum-based deck involve you pendulum summoning. If that pendulum summoning is negated, they're at a disadvantage. And because you need monsters of particular scales for you to pendulum summon within those scales, it could be something as simple as Skullcrow Bad Joker needing to not be negated so you can search whatever motherfucker you need to search with the given scale or whatever shit, and your opponent negates it with an effect veiler. Games are decided based off of that, but that has nothing to do with the core fucking principles of Yu-Gi. Sounds like I'm getting too technical. I apologize. We no longer give a fuck about attack of monsters in the main deck. These small motherfuckers are going to make big motherfuckers to get over that shit, and it doesn't typically matter how big the monster is. But we still care about attacking the opponent. And before somebody complains about power creep, yes, power creep happens. But did you really expect the game to stay exactly the way that it was 14 years ago? If you truly believe that, you're a fucking idiot. Yu-Gi-Oh back then was in its infancy, TCG I mean, and there was very little structure. Obviously there are enough people that like this game enough to continue to play it or have played it some period in their life. You cannot expect a game to go backwards. There's always going to be power creep. But I do agree, sometimes the power creep happens a little too suddenly. But I think that also has to do with people not willing to accept that it's going to happen whether you like it or not. And let's just think about this for a moment. Would you really like modern Yu-Gis to be the same shit? Summon a Lajin. I summon a Dark Elf. Attack. Oh shit, I have nothing to get over your Dark Elf, so I'm gonna set this Hane Hane. or this man-eater bug. Okay, well, I'm just going to attack into it because it's better for you to attack and then your opponent flip it on their turn, you know, tempo and shit. Then I'm going to just set some traps. That's just boring. If this was maybe 1 year, 2 year, maybe 3 years into the game, I could understand this complaint, kinda. But 14 years in this game, come on, son. And so, as I scratch my head, thank you for watching. If you would like to help me pay rent, make that motherfucker DINERO, I ask you humbly to please click at least one advertisement. If you could do that for little old me, it's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. You have my gratitude. We all have our complaints on shit, and that is up to you. Hell, even my opinion is subjective. But it seems like people just want to complain just because they don't like something. Welcome to the fucking club. I don't like a whole lot of shit.